All right, guys, I pulled an all-nighter working on my Jalen Phillips tribute and documentary of his 2022 season. One step away from greatness. This guy was so close to having unbelievable stats. I think that this kid's trajectory is ultra, ultra high. And I was critical of him in his run game, and I said it's going to hold him back in 21. But then I got pretty high on him in 22. And he has grown. He has given it all. This guy's an Adonis. He's a great person working outside. He almost had everything stripped away. There's that same thing, like I say, I like about Josh Allen and Jaylen Waddle and Tua. There's a humility at the core of his character. And to me, Jalen Phillips is one of those guys. He's one of those all-time guys you would love through any age. He's just a guy that's as good on the field as he is off the field, like Jaylen Waddle, who I want to talk today. And so I'm going to do a really, really good job on this thing. So I'm grinding away at it. So if I'm a little not on point today, understand that I'm really giving my all for this thing for you guys to cover every single pressure, a hit, knockdown, sack that Jalen Phillips had through the 2022 season from week 1 to the playoffs to show you how special this kid is. I'm really doing all that I can. I think you're going to really enjoy it. But for today, like I said, I want to cover Jaylen Waddle as a video came out of him training, and I think the kid looks better. I think he looks thicker. I think he's working on his agility, his ability to come, break, and work in short area quickness. And I am excited because you know what? Some of the best times I've had over the last couple of years was watching my 3 kids do the waddle together. It was an unbelievable experience. I felt giddy and like a kid, and I want that. And there's been a gloom over this franchise for a long time, and I kind of feel it on me. And Jaylen Waddle is a guy that helped lift it, and I will be eternally grateful that this guy brought that joyous spirit to me. And so I want to go a little bit into what that video was and what I think is going to come out of that. Then I want to cover the Dolphins versus KC in Germany. Germany. I mean, a lot of people hear me think I'm an Italian. I'm from New York. My family comes from the suburbs. There was a mixture of the Europeans and the Italians, and I got a heavy slang, but I am German for the most part. A dash of Irish, and then like a smattering of English, but mostly German. And I never, ever thought in my life I would hear about an NFL game being played in Germany, and it's already sold out with 290,000 people or some crazy number waiting already, and then they're already done. So I want to go over that game a little bit, and then how it applies to this world push that the NFL is taking. And then last, I got to cover it. Don't want to. But Tyreek Hill, his charges are sitting with the attorney general right now, and they're being looked over. And I think they're going to go forward. I think it's pretty clear what's going to happen. So I'm going to cover that quick and get into it. Because really, you got guys that are great on the field. You got guys that are great off the field. And then you got guys that are great on the field and off the field. Hill is a guy that is not great off the field. And there's something to be talked about. It's real. You got to embrace that and understand that. There are consequences for people of different character types when you bring them into a group. And unfortunately, I think we're going to get a negative consequence because of his off-the-field character. I do think that it might not hit 23 and 24. But anyway, I'll cover that later. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all you guys do. This is a big season for us. I just hope we can deliver in Zach Thomas's entrance to the Hall of Fame. We struck out on the celebration of Shula. We struck out on the perfect season. But maybe, just maybe, we can knock it out of the park with Zach Thomas's time to shine. Fingers crossed. So thanks for stopping by. I want to give you a shout out and a shout out to A-Spread, my sponsor, because without the two of you, this show ain't going down. Ace-Per-Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. All right, so I'm going to start out with the happy note. The Penguin, the Waddle. Kid's a good kid. We spent a sizable amount of picks, and it probably would have been less if Ross didn't help us lose one of them. But this kid is so good and so talented, and it's easy for him to coast. There's a lot of guys that coast in the NFL, and this kid ain't one of them. Video came out on BR Gridiron of him working, and there's one part where he takes his shirt off, and this guy looks like he is getting stronger and thicker. And for a guy with that speed, and he's working on his short area quickness, it is impressive, and I am very excited, and I am crossing my fingers for this kid. I want to see this kid outshine Hill in 2023. So here, take a look at this. Really working hard. You know, this kid's got, look at the thickness on that back, man. That is a kid that is 5'8", 5'9", but he is a thick dude, and he is fast. And if he can get a little bit more short area quickness where he can be more effective inside and expand his route tree with the chemistry he has with Waddle, and then with Hill, and then the chosen on the other side, pulling attention away from this kid, I think we could see his best season yet, and I'm hoping for it. I want my kids to do the Waddle from week 1 all the way to the Super Bowl. That would be phenomenal. I actually might make videos of it and have like a, what do they call it? I don't know what they call it. The chronology of all the Waddle dances of the Curtis kids. Anyway, so Waddle is a guy we need to rally around at every cost, giving his kid positive mojo and be grateful for what we have in him. Then, unfortunately, I've done a lot of things I'm not proud about. I have not always been a good guy. I've never gone to the level of hurting a woman or anything like that. But there's a lot of people who look at me and go, I never would have done that. You're not a good guy. So I'm not here to throw stones. But when you strangle and punch a pregnant fiance of yours, and then somehow the kid's arm gets broken and you threaten on audio recording. I mean, he said he did the first thing, and then the audio recording we heard of the second thing, makes us think that there's something went bad here. And then you got number 10 of the Miami Dolphins. I call him Hill, but from now, at some point, I'm going to remember to only call this guy number 10, because he says, I'm number 10 of the Miami Dolphins, and I could buy and sell you these. It was a real jerk move. But now, the alleged assault is under review by the state attorney, the attorney general of the state. I guess attorney general, state attorney, whatever. I don't know. Big guy. Big guy is looking this over. There's video of him slapping a guy in the back of the head and then charging him and having to be pulled back and then running off like a coward. There is going to be a consequence given his past. There's on video. He's not going to jail, but he'll get probably probation or some kind of slap on the wrist. But given all that, because there is video, he's not going. And when the video comes out and we see it, it's going to be ugly, and the NFL is going to have to do something. Maybe a game, maybe 2. Poor character always comes back to bite you. And he's going to miss some games. Now, the lawfare of the Dolphins and Hill could push this off to like maybe next year, or maybe get it worked into it's the middle part of the schedule where we got a couple of light games against the Panthers or something. It's probably going to be 1 or 2 games unless the video is really, really bad. But it could be early part of the season where it's critical. It could be late. We don't know when this is going to drop. My hope is 24. Because in 24, okay, we can miss some games. This is the year. This is the critical season. Next year's schedule is likely not going to be this tough. We need Hill in every game. But again, poor character. I remember people said, well, Flores wanted Watson. And Flores kept saying, I want guys with good character. No, I'm good with Tua. And then Ross is the guy who went there. Even Watson's attorney said, well, we almost had a deal, but he wouldn't get the waivers signed. So Ross was totally happy with it. Ross was trying to get games thrown. Ross was working in the background, doing his thing. He's the guy of low character. I mean, some Dolphins, well, come on, let's be real. It's okay. It's okay to say he has low character because it's pretty clear. He wanted Watson. We hired this guy after Flores was gone. So the MO is bottom line on the field. And so the low character at the top had him bring in a low character guy like Hill, who's A-class superhuman on the field. But it's more than that. And we got to see how it plays out. Now, if it bites us in 24, okay. But if it bites us this year, you've got to look at him, and you'll say, well, the people say it don't matter. We'll say it matters. And then you got to look at the GM and the owner who brought a guy. I didn't know this stuff. I mean, I would have said something totally different when we signed him. I'd have been like, my only concern was the draft picks. So, guys, character is key. This season's going to be based on character. I just hope in a critical season like this that low character doesn't hurt us, because it could come down to one game has us in or out. Prayerfully, like I said, though, it's 2024, but man, it's going to look so bad when he slaps the guy in the head, they hold him back, and then he runs off like the dude from Princess Bride, you know?
Prepare to die.
So anyway, let's just hope that Tyreek Hill improves his character. Let's hope his character doesn't hurt us this season, because this is a big one, guys. This is a big one. Now, the German game between KC and the Dolphins looks to be so exciting. It's going to be hard for both teams. It moved it to the Germany. I just can't believe there's a game in Germany. So, as a German guy, I would love to be there and see that. And it's good news for us because I wouldn't want to go to KC. There is a neutral site, and that, I think, helps us out. Now, it was sold out instantly, and there's so many people, like 290,000 people who want to be involved to get to this game, and they can't. It's already gone. And so there is a huge desire to watch the NFL football in Germany, as well as some other countries. The worldwide vision of the NFL is starting to percolate. My thing is, though, that you look at the American, they're unique individuals. And not just the African American, the European American. Just the Americans in general have a sturdy type of build that allows them to have the physical prototype to play this game. You get guys from, Central America. You get some guys from Europe. You get a couple guys from Asia, but not to the degree you get from the North American, and, maybe Canada. And so I don't know what this expansion the NFL is looking for is going to do to the talent pool. I don't know if there's enough talent worldwide to fill this without diluting the game itself. That, to me, is going to be very, very interesting. If there's a talent pool, and then it is this whole host of genetic freaks from other nations that can fit the bill and get in here, because it's not just the genetics, too. It's the history of understanding the game and playing the game and being a part of it, because you can have the physical talent, but if you're not violent enough, so it is a lot of filtering out of human beings that can play this game. It's going to be very, very interesting. Maybe one day we have a European Football League and it doesn't look like the old European Football League, which was like, you remember that thing? It was good. So anyway, this is the stories that I wanted to talk about. Waddle and Phillips, these are guys to hold up. Cheer for Hill if you want on game day. But I just really would prefer us to go for quality guys. I mean, if you're a real quality football player and you got a few things off the field, okay. But at that level, it's a little nerve-wracking. Let's hope it passes. Let's hope I'm wrong. Let's hope that Hill gets himself together and doesn't do this stuff and gets some humility, the humility like Jalen Phillips has when he almost lost his career. I mean, you could see the goodness, and it starts with humility. So let's hope that Hill gets together. He doesn't get suspended. And if he does, it's in some game that doesn't matter or next year. Anyway, guys, the Phillips thing's coming out. I hope you'll enjoy that. I think you will. This is Curtis saying thanks for stopping by. Catch you next time. Be well. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with acebread.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.